Durut Salam. Igor, thank you. I was in a bit of a funk, feeling bad. I looked really bad at judo last night. I mean, bad. I looked like an old man. I was getting owned by an orange belt. It was bad. But he asked me about Volkanovski and Ortega. Okay, so I watched Volkanovski's highlights. Here's what I saw. I saw someone who is really good on top of the big toe on their feet. Someone who moves laterally. You can tell that the martial arts training was very, very, very old school. Had a lot of karate kata, had a lot of judo kata. Really, really good old Japanese and kalari Indian style on your toe footwork. So even when his heel is down, the majority of his weight he's over that toe, and which gives him the ability to almost teleport. He doesn't use his footwork to its max capacity, max capability. Volkanovski could actually use his footwork like Lomachenko. Very well could. He's got that kind of grace and that kind of ballerina on his toes. It's lovely. I wish he would take it to the next level. Volkanovski loves to fake guard. He loves to make people think that they have him in his guard and then throw strikes. So here's what I did. I got to watch more tape, obviously, but I watched this highlight reel, and halfway through it, I kind of understood, what this guy likes to do. For some reason, he's really good at getting leverage from being in guard to hammer strikes. How exactly, I haven't looked at it, but one thing he does is he takes his toe off the mat when he does that, meaning that all of his weight is either on the knee or either leaning into guard. Okay. Ortega is going to fuck him up if he tries that shit with Brian Ortega. It's not even going to be pretty. The reason is Brian Ortega can lean guys forward, break posture, and get the guillotine. Brian Ortega has an elite guillotine. The way you get an elite guillotine is you're really good at baiting people and suckering them to put their head down. He's got a fantastic squeeze in the guillotine. And his striking is really good. Israel Adesanya, he's the most elite striker, I think. I can't think of a better one. There probably is. You guys know me. I go and do my martial arts, and then I study this stuff when people ask me questions. Every once in a while, I'll watch a Dagestansky, do what they do to help me with my sambo. So I'm not a UFC. I'm not the UFC guy that's watching every second of every fight. I just don't. I work way too much. It's too hard, and I'm just trying to look like a brown belt EQ personally and get my show done. That's where my primary thing is, because as you guys know, I went through all up to 3rd degree black belt when I was very little, and USA Judo, when I went back, the only thing they had me was listed as a brown belt EQ, not even verified. They just had me entered into a few brown belt EQ tournaments, and I placed pretty well in the junior tournaments. And I think I even got national points, but that's a whole nother story. So, what I'd like to see Volkanovski do, and I'll watch some tape, but if he can pass guard, throwing strikes to break guard is fantastic. If you can get away with that and not get rolled, swept, or armbarred, that is an elite skill. It's an elite skill. But if you're fighting a bunch of guys who dropped guard because they couldn't think of something better to do or get frustrated, that's not great. I do that, and I'm not a professional fighter. If I get frustrated with the guy and I can't throw him this way, I can't throw him that way, I can't get low enough to Morote, Seonage, then yeah, I will go Yoko to the front or Yoko to the back, or just pull guard if my Tomonage doesn't work, or go for hanging armbar because my Tomonage doesn't work. I do that. I'm a 40-year-old guy on YouTube. I am not an elite UFC fighter. So what you want to see from UFC fighters is a bit more skill. So can Volkanovski throw hands with Ortega? Yes. Can Ortega throw hands with Volkanovski? Yes. Do they both have knockout power? They can knock you out. I think they're like Tony Ferguson in knockout power, where all the strikes combined, everything they do, getting you tired, making you go around their jiu-jitsu, that can knock you out, versus Justin Gaethje, where he can get beat up the entire fight and then hit you once, only strike he's ever landed in the fight, and knock you out. So that's definitely different between one shot pop and then knockout power, as it were. So if I'm Brian Ortega and I'm fighting Volkanovski, he's got really, really, really good footwork, and I want to be able to stop that footwork. Since he stands up, I'm going to try to go for a single leg, double leg, and pass guard before I hit the ground. So now I'm also going to do it judo style with the head in, because Volkanovski, when you have footwork, anytime you see somebody with really great footwork who is fighting on top of their big toe, and it even looks like they're fighting on top of their big toe when their feet are flat, that is an indication that someone's got a really good sweep game. Even though I haven't really seen a lot of sweeps. I haven't seen much of Volkanovski at all. I'm going off of 5 minutes that I just watched because Igor asked me what I thought of the fight, and I was just like, well, I'm already on the way to the gym. I'm going to go throw the pants on and throw the belt on and do some running and some kata and some stretching. So you might as well, throw together 10 minutes worth of video and get the channel back up, for the fans. Also, I'm out of work, so if I can make money doing this, let's do this. If you got a good sweep game, then you don't want to go head out when you're shooting in on somebody if they have a good sweep game. The reason is because they can sweep you and then work for some sort of shimiwaza, okay? Or sweep you and take the back and then really land in the lion killer, or, some sort of really nasty shimiwaza. You don't want that. So if you go head in, then if they start to roll or sweep, then it's easier to take the back. I know it's counterintuitive, but when your head is in and you wrap them up, then all you have to do is reach around and maybe even throw in the leg for some sort of ashiguruma to the front, or some sort of Yoko Valley drop to the back, and then take the back. And this is well within Brian Ortega's game. Brian Ortega's jiu-jitsu is mind-blowing. He's got good jiu-jitsu. He's the kind of guy where you kind of think, man, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, they really did take jiu-jitsu to the next level when you watch Brian Ortega. When you just go to Brazilian jiu-jitsu gyms, you're like, I don't know. Anyway, so there's 10 minutes of that. I hope it was awesome. And I will do some more research, and I'll come up with a more in-depth video. But for everybody, Khorda Hafiz.